Well, good morning. Hey, it's Dr. Bob Flower with your Monday, January 14th, 2013 Master Pattern Report. And we're coming in from beautiful, sunny Arizona, where it's freezing. Um, in any event, good day. Well, let's see where we're at. We're looking for a move today in the metals, um, and we think that the market will continue on a uptrend, uh, choppy, but on an uptrend. Might make a little run here. The S&P might get as high as that 1475, 1485 level. Um, uh, and we think this is going to continue into February. The choppiness in the metals, the same thing. We're anticipating some moves upward in the metals very soon, and we see some patterns, strong patterns forming beginning end of first week in February. Uh, the what seems to be occurring is this: Europe and Asia, and Japan in particular, are taking are really taking a hit. They've managed to paper everything over so that we're not getting any fear mongering coming out of those districts there. But I'm going to tell you what Japan has declared that they're going all out to revive their economy, and they're going to hyperinflate. This is the first move of a universal worldwide move in that direction. Uh, Regardless of how Japan makes out with this endeavor, if it's successful, it's going to promote the same thinking throughout the world, and which is in effect what's happening right now in the United States. We're printing money as fast as we can, and if it's not successful, it will foster the various economies to take action along those lines, right? Um, the Fed and the banking community are really in a dilemma here. Um, they they know that they can't raise interest rates. I think now they've declared that these rates are going to stay until 2015. But by the same token, the banks are not making any money, and certainly not the way they used to, between the bad paper that they're holding and the low interest rates. It's been kind of tough for them um, to make the same degree of funding as before. Um, so this whole move here is, it's a gut wrenching cleaning out that is holding everything back. Um, the doubt, the fear, um, uh, and along with the policies of many of the countries, including the United States, uh, primarily in its restrictive governance of, uh, especially of finance and business, is not at all healthy, and it's just continues to add up. We're not seeing it uh, in as we did in 2008 and 9 and part of 10 yet, because they have been able to make the markets have been able to adjust and gain control of themselves. But that's only temporary. It's fiat. There's not much that anybody can do here except stay the course. It, I, I don't believe that there's going to be this QE infinity, although they are buying up bad paper at $40 billion a month. Uh, and that's certainly going to add to the inflation prospects. But keep in mind that the debt hit here was so tremendous between the derivatives and the mortgage market that deflation is really the name of the game here. It really is going to take a while before inflation starts to hit. I mean, we are seeing rising prices, but that's only because it's not because of inflation. You're seeing the rising prices because people are getting creamed, and they need to recover in order to stay on course and stay alive. And that's why when you see one company or another with record profits, believe me when I tell you that is illusionary to a large extent, because the way they're functioning, half their workforce is gone. Of course they're going to make profits with that, but they're not going to be able to promote their goods and services the way they have in the past. And again, you know, we're seeing that with poor production, poor quality of goods and services, not only in the United States but throughout the world. So this whole thing is people are saying, well, you know, what do I care? This is nonsense. You know, it's not helping me in my daily life. Well, you know, it's important that you understand what's going on in the world around you, so that you can better survive and plan. Not that that's easy. With the way the current administration is going, it's becoming more and more difficult to function. By the way, talking about that, I just finished a Meritopia by Mark Levin, and excellent book. Excellent book. He really lays out everything. I mean, he goes back to Plato and looking at the thinking of political forces, governmental forces, you know, right up to you know, modern day utopianism. And I would strongly recommend it. At points it's a little hard reading, but it's an excellent book, and if you want to know what's going on and see what's going on in our world and how we got to where we're at, the only comment, criticism I have of the book is that it really doesn't give us an insight as to how to correct it. You know, and again, you know, I've been struggling with this because I just can't find a way of, aside from revolution, of getting these bastards in line. Even though they're out breaking the law and self-serving enterprises and regulations, there just isn't that one thread that says, well, you can contact the U.S. Army or Armed Forces and bring an action in court to have them forcibly thrown out of office. No, there aren't any steps available except the voice of the people, and the people's voices are very, very weak. I mean, you know, people are more entertained. I met a relative the other day, and he said to me, "Hey," he says, "you know, I've been watching your videos." He says, "and you know, I like them, but you know what? They're not entertaining. You know, they're not dynamic." And I said to him, "Well, that may be, but that's not what they're meant to be. They're meant to be informative. They're the type of thing that that I look for anyway, to see what I can know. And the more I understand, the more I know, and the more I understand, the better my decisions, the better my life. And but that's very true of what's going on in our country today. People are more involved with um, with movies and Golden Globe and all this other stuff than they are anything else. And I'm not saying hey, listen, I love football, I love golf, and I like a good movie, but these are as as our forefathers said, these are the times that try men's souls. And if we don't watch out, whatever we have, however little or how great, we can lose it very simply. And it's remember this: when in times of revolution, it's really the have-nots that get hurt. Um, and the haves are usually the ones that are right there as well. They're the ones that stand to lose the most. So who gains? Well, those select egalitarians are the ones that gain: the oligarchy, the monarchy, or as Mark Levin says, the utopians. Um, so we don't want revolution in the sense of fighting in the streets. What we do want is change, change back to what we were before the federal system and the politicians got a hold of the Constitution and just twisted it right out of shape. And I'm completely stymied at this point as to what we can do, and I'm willing to do or try anything. A national movement would be good. A term limits movement, things of that sort. A new Bill of Rights, perhaps. That type of movement. Somebody even suggested to me some sort of government, shadow government, so to speak, which the people manage directly, using IT facilities, the internet and social media and things of that sort. Maybe in part, maybe there's a way of doing that, but maybe that is something that we have to look at. Maybe a reconstituting of the Bill of Rights, our own Bill of Rights, that says, screw you guys, some way, somehow, we're going to get rid of you, and we're going to have a say in our own direction and our own well-being. And along with that Bill of Rights, a new way of earning and sharing, and that is a reality. There are ways that we can change the economies so that it becomes fairer and at the same time entrepreneurial. And we're going to talk about that more. I'm doing a white paper on that as well. So and listen, have a good week. We'll have some calls for you by the beginning of next week. But I think we're going to see some moves here that in not only in the market but in the commodities as well. Okay. So look, have a good week. Stay warm. Enjoy, and I'll be seeing you next week.